So what are your thoughts on the whole proposed plan and how it's failed?
Ultimately, it's stupid, isn't it? We can't get out of each other's way. I just get frustrated with people that are in position of power. Things were good and they're moving in a way, right? So they've decided to make the World Cup bigger, expanded it. There was pushback on that. I think ultimately, Geoff, obviously you was there, you worked it. Everyone was like, okay, relatively good, successful World Cup. You know, they told you about how many ticket sales, the profit, all of that. But in all, we got to see new teams. We got some good storylines. We enjoyed it. And ultimately, Spain won and it was a great final. But then ever since that moment, it has all been about this fella. And I always think any good and top business or organisation, you shouldn't know who they are. You should see them front and centre. You know, again, take it back to the Premier League, that's close to heart. You don't really see Richard Masters right at the front. Never really hear of him. He only comes out when there's a problem to fix or if they're announcing something new. This guy is just always in the front and centre. And I don't think he's got any understanding of what football means to people across the globe. I think he's looking at it purely as a business. Maybe there'll be people that say, again, football needs money. I would say football generates more than enough money. And I just feel like it just gets to this point where they all become self-centred and it's all about their own personal gain. What do I get from this? And not about the game of football, which is obviously one of the only things in the world that everyone agrees on is great.
Geoff, what do you think about what Troy just said?
I think you're spot on. I mean,
Yep.
the bottom line is it's about power. It's about being seen to be in charge. And ultimately, the heart of it is the individual serving the game or serving himself? Now, the very fact that this project, which was doomed from the start, they even went to the same bankers. It's the same idea as the Super League.
Of course it is.
It's the same. And how you could not read the room, how you could think that this is a good idea and let's just spring it on people and we'll get away with it is absolutely staggering. But
I'm sorry. I think any idea you have to offer stakeholders £40 million to get it over the line suggests it's probably not a good idea. If I have to bribe you, if it's a good idea, like, you know, for example, let's go shopping today, my treat. You go, oh, it's a good idea, but what does Troy have to? You know, that's the first thing you're thinking, right? I'm not taking him shopping, he's very expensive. But you understand, like, if you have to put a financial gain in there to get somebody to be on board with your idea, it's probably not a good idea from the start.
Yeah.
Well, we know that within FIFA there's a whole history of basically countries being bought, like the amounts of money that are given to them, and that's always been elect me as president, and he's not the first to do this, and it's happened in other organisations as well. This is what's in it for you, and that's how they retain power. That's how they stay in power. But I think the most interesting thing about this now is where does this go? Because the battle lines have been drawn. 3 federations have said we will boycott FIFA competitions. Now, individual members of those associations, they can still vote freely. So if you say the ultimate end game is next March, which is when it's the FIFA re-elections, and will Infantino be re-elected, can he avoid being run out of town before then? Well, what will decide that? First FIFA competition, I think, is the women's under-20s in Poland on September the 5th. If the UEFA countries now, some UEFA countries have said, well, we're going to play in it, but whilst this progresses, we're still going to send our teams. So it comes, ultimately, it will come down to money. It's as simple as that. Because if, as UEFA are threatening to do, and these other associations and federations are talking about organising their own competition, I mean, what, on the back of, as Troy described, and I agree, a largely successful World Cup, you're talking about splitting the world football calendar. You're talking about fragmenting the one thing that brings the football world together.
But UEFA aren't in a position to be talking like they're great. This is the, sorry to interrupt you by the way, but this is the bit that frustrates me. It's like, FIFA are bad at the moment in terms of how it looks. FIFA are bad. Oh, look how great we are. It's like, no. Let's look through it, because you've had to change the Champions League, only 2 years old, because you were struggling not too long ago. You were struggling to keep up with the times. You were struggling to reinvent. Do you get what I mean? It just feels like, for me, that again, respectfully, they're all crooked. They're all crooked. They're all doing the same thing, and it's just like, don't look at me, look at that one. And then something happens, it's like, don't look at me, look at that one. So
Well, it's like you saw with the World Cup referee as well. UEFA said, well, he can come and ref the...
But
it's political.
Yeah.
Boring. That's what it is. It's boring.
Well, it's
just do it properly. Just worry about the game.
It's wearing, isn't it? It wears everybody down. And ultimately, these two have never got on particularly well. So it starts with the expanded Club World Cup. UEFA see that as coming to their territory. That shouldn't happen because it's their clubs, not FIFA's. It's a grab from FIFA. And then, as you said about the Champions League. So this has been going on tit for tat for some time. What Infantino did is handed UEFA a golden opportunity to take pot shots at them. So it's where will this end and what will ultimately decide where this ends? And for me, it's pretty simple. It's money. Because you'll say to the individual federations, and they'll go to their members as well and say, right, if we don't vote for him, this is what we get. If we do vote for him, this is what we get. And a lot of countries will make a decision on that basis. Others won't. Others that don't particularly need the finance will say, no, we believe in the purity of the game, or we no longer believe in this governance, so therefore this is what we're going to do. But it's also being played out in quite an ugly way in the media. Some of it is not far off name calling, and it's pretty. It's like playground stuff.
There's no class to it, and that's the problem for me. It's like, take all the money and who said it, he said what. Does this benefit the game? Isn't that what all of them are in their job roles for? Is to move the game forward, to put the game in the best light it can, and none of them are doing that. Now that's the bit I get frustrated with. I don't care about these people in terms of day to day. I don't wake up and think of, oh, what's Infantino doing today? Doesn't come in the top 4,000 things I think of in one day. But their job is to make this game better and be spoken about in a better light. So somebody needs to get them all in a room and go, hey, just so you're aware, do you know what your job is? Because at the minute, it's all self-serving.
But that's one of the biggest things, Troy, the lack of self-awareness of many people in positions of power. For instance, the insistence that he's shown every game during the World Cup, every game he attends, he's shown each half. Why would you insist upon that?
He asked for that, so he had to...
I can't say he, but I know that it was a directive that he's cut up each half every game he's at.
Well, then that just goes to the ego, doesn't it?
And that power aspect.
Yeah, but also, like, again, it's boring. No one's ever gone to a game and gone, like most people watch it, who's that fella?
Yeah.
And that's how it should be, because you should be just out of the way.
And it is very much like party politics, in that every single time the other one makes a statement, the other side, so those who are opposed or those who are pro, seize upon it, dissect it like lawyers, and go back with observations. So, for instance, President Trump has endorsed Gianni Infantino, and he will have his supporters, and some people will be delighted about that. His opposers will say, well, we're very uncomfortable between the relationship between the two anyway, so they will seize upon that as another reason. So, another reason to attack. So there's two sides to both of it, and we're just seeing it all being played out in the media right now. And I'm not sure there's any way to avoid it, though.
There is one more thing we could say, though. It's meant to be sport.
Yeah.
So why are we talking about politics? Why are we talking about this person this and my territory that? This is sport. Yeah, but this is sport.
Yeah, but as you know, it is a political thing.
I don't disagree, but it is ultimately it's sport, right?
Yeah, of
ultimately,
course.
It's a game of football that is one of the it should be one of the cheapest to play. You need a ball, and that's it. You could use a wall, you could use jumpers, you just need a bit. You don't even need grass. You can play it on any surface. That's it. And that's why it resonates all around the globe, because that's all that anyone needs. And we're talking about, respectfully, these people that don't matter. Yeah,
but Troy, it is so big. I understand the simplicity and the purity of what you're saying. It's 100% right. But it is so big. We are talking about billions of pounds. So it has to be organised professionally, and you have to have good governance. And what we've got at the moment is an absolute mess. But the worst...
It was a mess before.
The worst thing, and this is not new, this has happened forever and a day. The worst thing that can happen is this just drags on and on and on. And it's the lack of awareness or reading of the room, which seems to be the biggest problem in general in this discussion, from not just the president of FIFA, but a number of parties and a number of associations.
Well, we saw the corruption of the previous president, Sepp Blatter, and now we're seeing this corruption play out. How can we prevent the next FIFA president to not have this sort of corruption? How does that get prevented? Can it be stopped?
Well, it's not necessary. I'm not addressing alleged corruption, but what you can do is you can put in a set of strictures and a structure whereby decisions like this cannot be taken without the consensus of the members, which is what is supposed to be in place. And this is UEFA's criticism. These decisions were taken without correct consultation. So it's interpretation of the rules of governance. FIFA are claiming they did absolutely nothing wrong. A large number of bodies and people are saying, you absolutely did. So that is the dispute. So even if you've got that, bottom line is, Troy, even if you've got all that in place, if somebody is motivated to bend it their way, they're going to do so. So it's very, very difficult. Very, very difficult.
Do you think it can be prevented, Troy?
Have you got faith in it being able to be...
I don't have faith in most humans, so it's not really in this, to be honest with you. You know, in my world, you just put dogs in and let the dogs run it, because they're the ones you can tell. They either like you or they don't. It's that simple. I think just where we're at, it's ultimately just going to be corruption and things of that nature happen in every part of life, unfortunately. It just comes down to, are you a good human? And that's where I kind of fundamentally kind of center my life at. Like, are you a good human? Do you try and do the best? And does this benefit people? Unfortunately, now I think a lot of the way the world's gone is, how does it benefit me? If I take care of myself, then I'll try and look at other people. And I just don't really like where we're at in the world. And this is just another case in point of it, to be totally honest with you. More dogs, less humans. That's what I think.
I have got one last question.
OK.
You said he's not one of the 4,000 things you think about every day. You think of 4,000 things every day.
This is a crazy brain that goes on.
Where do you think he'd be in your list?
No, where are we? Where are we in 4,000?
We are, you two right now are in like the 50 things I'm thinking about.
OK, I'd take that, 50.
Yeah, only because you're here.
OK.
The last 3 weeks have not been around you guys.
We've been 4,000.
4,020. Yeah, you're way down on.
Where's Infantino?
1,065,000. I don't care.
1 million? OK.
No one should. And this is the thing, you're giving somebody who wants oxygen and we keep giving him oxygen. So then we go, oh, why are we talking about this guy? Because this is what he wants. This is why he's doing these things. So we keep speaking about it because the cycle's over, the World Cup's finished. World Cup should be packed up now. We don't talk about it. We should be starting looking at the next tournaments and the qualifying and the Euros. Talk about this fella. This is what he wants.
Yeah, but his decisions could be impacting.
Also, if we ignored him, guess what? He can't do anything. So ignore him.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.